Hi! Today we'll discuss about the method of grouping terms and the shortcut for solving exact differential equation. The first method that we've discussed previously has the essence of first, integrating the coefficient of dx with respect to x, then differentiating the result with respect to y, and then comparing with the coefficient of dy. This method can be recast into the method of grouping terms, which is a simpler and easier method. Let us solve some examples to see how this method works. This is our problem number 1. Before we can apply the method of grouping terms, let us first check kung siya ba ay exact. This is of the form mdx plus ndy. To check kung siya ay exact, dapat ma-meet niya yung condition for exactness that the partial derivative of m with respect to y should be equal with the partial derivative of n with respect to x. Kunin natin yung partial derivative ng terms na to with respect kay y. Lahat ng hindi y, iti-take natin as constant. 6x, then the partial derivative or derivative of y squared is 2y. Plus, for this constant, si 4x cubed, derivative of y is 1. This is equal to 12xy plus 4x cubed. Next, let us take the partial derivative of n with respect to x. Constant si y. Then derivative of x squared is 2x plus, this is just in terms of x, so derivative of x to the fourth is 4x cubed plus derivative of e raised to y with respect to x. Y is taken as constant, therefore this is just equal to 0. Simplifying, we have 12xy plus 4x cubed. Since the partial derivative of m with respect to y is equal to the partial derivative of n with respect to x, therefore this equation is exact. How can we apply the method of grouping terms? The first step is to pick up a term, then integrate it. Let's pick up this first term, 6xy squared. Dahil kasama siya ni dx, i-integrate natin siya with respect kay x. So 6xy squared kasama si dx. This is equal to, si y squared ay taken as constant. Then the integral of x is x squared over 2. Simplifying this, 3x squared, y squared. Next thing we'll do is to differentiate this with respect to y. Differentiating this with respect to y, x is taken as constant. The derivative of y squared is 2y. Then, this is now equal to 6x squared y. Kung mapapansin ninyo, itong term na to ay equal din dito. Meaning, ang kapartner ni 6xy squared dx ay si 6x squared y dy. So, hindi na natin to ipipick up later. And therefore, itong term na to, siya na yung part na magko-constitute doon sa function. Next, let's pick up this second term, 4x cubed y dx. Again, dahil kasama siya ni dx, i-integrate natin siya with respect kay x. So, the integral of 4x cubed y dx, this is equal to, si y taken as constant. The integral of x cubed is x to the fourth over 4. Simplify, x to the fourth y. Then, we'll differentiate this with respect to y. X to the fourth, so dahil x taken as constant, derivative ng y, 1. So this is x to the fourth. Sino ngayon yung kapartner ni 4x cubed y dx kay dy? You can see that this is the same with this. So sila yung partner. Hindi na natin i-integrate itong term na to. And therefore, this term will be included in the function f that we're looking for. Ang natitirang term na lang sa atin ay si e raised to y dy. Integrate natin si e raised to y dahil kasama siya ni dy with respect to y. Same lang naman siya. Then, differentiate natin siya with respect kay x. Dahil y to, pag dinifferentiate natin siya with respect kay x, this is just equal to 0. Imagine nyo merong plus 0 dx dito. So, yun yung kapartner niya. Or basically, si e raised to y dy ay group na siya in itself. Kumbaga mag-isa lang siya dun sa grupo na yun. And this term is part of the function that we're looking for. Pagsama-samahin lang natin lahat ng nakuha natin kanina, and that is already the general solution of the given differential equation. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, mas madali and mas simple yung naging solution natin. Problem number 2. Sulat muna natin siya sa standard form na mdx plus ndy equals 0. Cross multiply. On the right side, we'll have y sine of x minus e raised to x sine of 2y dx equals cosine of x plus 2 e raised to x cosine of 2y dy. Then move natin to sa left hand side. Lahat ng to ay magiging negative. Equals 0. Take note na bago tayo mag-test for exactness, dapat yung form niya ay ganito. Meaning, dapat ito ay positive. So, to make this positive, kailangan i-distribute natin yung negative sa dalawang terms na to. So, we'll make this positive and we'll distribute the negative sign dito. So, this will be negative. This is now our M and this is N. Bago i-apply yung method of grouping terms, check muna natin kung siya ba ay exact by following the condition for exactness. So, let's take the partial derivative of m with respect kay y. For this, sin x will be a constant. Then the derivative of y is 1 minus e raised to x. So, dahil x siya, taken as constant. Derivative ng sin 2y is 2 cosine of 2y. Simplifying, we'll get sine of x minus 2 e raised to x cosine of 2y. Next, let's take the partial derivative of n with respect kay x. So, negative, derivative ng cosine x ay negative sine of x minus 2 cosine 2y ay taken as constant. Then, the derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x. Simplifying, positive sine of x minus 2 e raised to x cosine of 2y. These are equal. Therefore, the differential equation that we're going to solve is exact. Dahil exact siya, we can apply the method of grouping terms. Let's say the first term that we're going to pick up is, dito naman tayo manggaling. So, pick up natin si negative cosine x dy. Dahil kasama niya si dy, i-integrate natin siya with respect kay y. Negative cosine x is taken as a constant and ang integral ng dy ay y. This is equal to negative y cosine of x. Next, differentiate natin siya with respect kay x. The negative y ay taken as constant and ang derivative ng cosine x ay negative sine of x. This is equal to positive y sine of x. Sino yung kapartner ni negative cosine x dy kay dx? So, mapapansin niyo, this is the same with this. So, ito yung kapartner ni negative cosine x dy. And ito na yung part na i-constitute niya dun sa function na hinahanap natin. Dalawa na lang yung term na natitira. Piliin natin si dy ulit. Dahil kasama siya ni dy, integrate natin with respect kay y. So, the integral of negative 2 e raised to x cosine 2y dy. Lahat ng hindi y ay taken as constant. For the integral of cosine 2y dy, so dahil may 2 tayo rito, kailangan meron tayong 1/2. Then the integral of cosine ay positive sine, then copy the angle. Simplifying this, we can cancel 2. So, negative e raised to x sine of 2y. Then, differentiate natin to with respect kay x. Sine 2y ay taken as constant. And ang derivative ni negative e raised to x ay negative e raised to x. Or this is also negative e raised to x sine of 2y. Ang kapartner ni negative 2 e raised to x cosine 2y dy kay dx ay si negative e raised to x sine 2y dy. Ito ngayon yung part na magko-constitute dun sa function na hinahanap natin. Notice na na-consider na natin lahat ng terms. So, tapos na tayo. Pagsamahin na lang natin yung nakuha natin kanina. Negative y cosine of x minus e raised to x sine of 2y equals a constant. Gawin na natin tong positive by multiplying the whole equation by negative 1. Y cosine of x plus e raised to x sine of 2y equals negative 1 times a constant that is still a constant. So this is now the general solution of our differential equation. Problem number 3. Before we solve this, test muna natin kung siya ba ay exact. The equation is in the form na m dx plus n dy. To check kung siya ay exact, take natin yung partial derivative ni m with respect kay. So dahil kasama siya ni dx, differentiate with respect kay y. First term is in terms of x, taken as constant dahil with respect kay y yung differentiation, plus 2x, taken as constant si x, derivative ng y is 1, minus 2 is a constant, x is again taken as constant, function ng x, so taken as constant ulit, derivative ng y is 1. Simplify this, 2x minus 2x e raised to negative x squared. Next, let us take the partial derivative of n with respect to x. Lahat ng hindi x ay taken as constant. Derivative of x squared is 2x plus 3y squared is a function of y, taken as constant, so that is 0, plus derivative of e raised to negative x squared, so differentiate natin yung exponent, that is negative 2x multiplied by the same term e raised to negative x squared. This is equal to 2x minus 2x e raised to negative x squared. Dahil equal sila, that just means that our equation or our differential equation is exact. Let us use the method of grouping terms to solve for the general solution of this differential equation. Pick up tayo ng terms, then integrate natin depende kung kasama niya si dx or si dy. Let's try si x squared. Dahil kasama siya ni dy, i-integrate natin siya with respect kay y. Dahil dy ito, x squared is taken as constant, the integral of dy is y. Then, let us take the partial derivative of this term with respect to x. Y is taken as constant. Derivative of x squared is 2x. This is 2xy. Partner ni x squared dy is 2xy dx. Hindi na natin kailangang i-integrate to. And ito yung part ng function na hinahanap natin. Next, piliin naman natin si 6x squared dx. Dahil kasama siya ni dx, i-integrate natin siya with respect kay x. The integral of 6x squared dx is 6x cubed over 3, or this is 2x cubed. Then, differentiate natin siya with respect to y. Dahil ito ay x, ang derivative niya with respect kay y ay 0. Kaya ang partner ni 6x squared dx kay dy ay 0. So, imagine nyo may 0 dyan. And this is the part of the function that we're looking for. Meron pa tayong tatlong terms. Kunin natin si 3y squared. Integral of 3y squared dy. Integrate natin with respect kay y. 3y cubed over 3 or y cubed. Then, differentiate with respect to x. Dahil siya ay y, and ang differentiation ay with respect kay x, this is 0. Kaya ang kapartner ni 3y squared dy, dito kay dx ay 0 dx. So, again, imagine nyo na parang merong 0 dx dito. And this is part of the function that we're looking for. Meron tayong dalawa pang natitirang terms. Pili tayo ng gagamitin natin. So, I'm choosing this one kasi mas simple or mas madali dahil wala na akong ibang function ng y dito. Pag ito kasi ang pinili ko, so meron akong integral ng negative 2x e raised to negative x squared dx, meaning gagamit pa ako ng integration by parts. Unlike dito, na function lang to ng x, tapos integrate mo with respect kay y. Let's see kung ano bang makukuha natin doon. Integral of e raised to negative x squared dy. Integrate natin with respect kay y. Ito ay function ng x, kaya siya ay taken as constant. Then, ang integral ng dy ay y, kaya ito ay e raised to negative x squared y. Then, differentiate natin siya with respect kay x. Taken as constant si y. Then, ang derivative ng e raised to negative x squared ay negative 2x e raised to negative x squared or negative 2xy e raised to negative x squared. We can see na ang partner ni e raised to negative x squared dy kay dx ay itong term na to. So, hindi na natin siya kailangang i-integrate. And take note na na-cover na natin lahat ng terms. Nahanap na natin lahat ng parts ng function na hinahanap natin. We just have to combine all those terms and that will define the function that we're looking for. X squared y plus 2x cubed plus y cubed plus e raised to negative x squared y equals c. For our next problem, let's try to use another solution na variation din ng method of grouping terms. Before we apply that solution, check muna natin kung siya ay exact equation. Again, this is in the form na m dx plus, so this is our n dy. Test natin kung siya ay exact. Take the partial derivative of m with respect kay y. Lahat ng hindi y ay taken as constant. Constant si cosine x. Derivative ng cosine y ay negative sine y. Minus, this is a function of x, kaya siya ay taken as constant. Ang derivative ay 0. So, the partial derivative of m with respect to y is negative cosine x sine of y. Next, partial derivative of n with respect to x. Lahat ng hindi x ay taken as constant. Negative sine y. Then, derivative ng sine x ay cosine of x. This is equal to negative cosine of x, sine of y. We can see here that the partial derivative of m with respect to y is equal to the partial derivative of n with respect to x, which means that our differential equation is exact. Paano ba nag-work yung third method natin? Kung mapapansin nyo dun sa ating previous solution na method of grouping terms, kapag yung term na in-integrate mo ay full function ng x and dx lang, wala na siyang nagiging kapartner doon sa dy. And in the same way, kung yung term na in-integrate mo kay dy ay function lang ng y and dy, wala siyang nagiging kapartner kay x. Tapos, kapag naman siya i-combination ng function ng x and y, meron siyang kapartner automatically doon kay dy. Ang gagawin natin for the third method is i-identify natin lahat ng directly integrable and non-directly integrable. And to solve for the function na hinahanap natin, i-integrate natin lahat ng directly integrable. I-add natin yung integral ng either kay dx or kay dy na non-directly integrable. And we'll equate that to the constant c. Ngayon, ano ba yung directly integrable? Pag sinabi nating directly integrable, yun yung magkakasamang function lang ni x and dx and function lang ni y and dy. Kapag non-directly integrable, yun yung magkasamang function ni x and y as dx, or function x and y tapos dy. For this example, yung ating directly integrable ay ito, function x and y dx. Hindi siya directly integrable. Ito, negative cotangent of x dx, function x and dx. Siya ay directly integrable. Pagdating naman dito kay dy, function x and y dy, so non-directly integrable yon. So, lahat ng natitirang terms, non-directly integrable. Ito, or negative sine of x, sine of y, dy. Take note, lahat ng directly integrable, i-integrate. Kay non-directly integrable, pipili lang kayo kay dx or kay dy. Solve natin to. The integral of negative cotangent of x dx plus the integral of, pili lang tayo ng isa. Ang pipiliin ko ay itong kasama na ni dx. And that is equal to a constant. I-replace natin si cotangent x ng cosine of x over sine of x dx. Plus, copy ko lang tong second term. Paano natin isa-solve ito? Palitan natin si sine x ng u. Solving for the derivative ng both sides, du is equal to cosine x dx. We can see here na negative du is equal to cosine x dx. Ito yun. Over sine x, which is u, plus the integral of cosine x, cosine y, dx equals c. Apply lang natin yung common integral ng ln. We have here negative ln of u plus, same way, dahil kay dx yung ating integration, si cosine y ay taken as constant. Then, ang integral ng cosine x dx ay sine of x. This is equal to c. Palitan lang natin si u ng sine x. And this is now the final answer or the general solution of our differential equation. Take note, lahat ng directly integrable, i-integrate. Pagdating kay non-directly integrable, pipili ka lang ng term either kay dx or kay dy. Problem number 5. This is in the form na m dr plus n d theta. Check natin kung siya ay exact equation. We'll take the partial derivative of m with respect kay, dahil kasama niya sa dr, with respect kay theta, yung ating differentiation. R is taken as constant, 0, plus derivative ng sine theta is cosine theta, minus derivative ng cosine theta, that is negative sine theta, or this is just equal to cosine theta plus sine theta. Next, take the partial derivative of n with respect kay r, kasi kasama siya ni d theta. So, sine theta is taken as constant, derivative ni r is 1, plus cosine theta taken as constant, derivative ni r is 1. Sine theta plus cosine theta. We can see that these are equal. Therefore, our differential equation is exact. Identify natin ngayon kung sino yung directly integrable and non-directly integrable. Ulitin ko lang, pag siya ay directly integrable, that means that that is a function of one variable integrated with respect to that same variable. So, gaya nito, r dr is a directly integrable. Sin theta dr, no. Cosine theta dr, hindi. R sin theta combination, d theta. Combination ng dalawang variable, d theta. So, ito lang yung ating directly integrable. Lahat ng natitirang terms ay non-directly integrable na. To solve this, we'll just integrate the directly integrable plus integrate the non-directly integrable. Pipili lang kayo ng isa equal to a constant. Isa lang yung ating directly integrable. We just write here rdr plus, pili lang kayo dito kung alin yung gusto nyo. Piliin natin yung una. Sinθ minus cosθ dr equals a constant. Integral ng rdr is r squared over 2 plus sinθ is taken as constant kasi with respect to r yung integration. The integral of dr is r minus cosθ taken as constant. Integral ng dr is r equal to a constant. Simplify lang natin. R squared over 2 plus r sinθ minus r cosθ is equal to c. Tanggalin natin itong ating denominator. Nalagyan ko na rin to ng over 2. So, multiplying the whole equation by 2, we'll get r squared plus 2r sinθ minus 2r cosθ, that is equal to a constant. So, very simple. Ito na yung solution ng ating differential equation. Kung mapapansin nyo, meron tayong tatlong methods na pwedeng gamitin to solve an exact equation. Yung method na diniscuss ko today ay na-recast lang from the original method na ginamit natin. Kayo nang bahala kung ano yung gusto nyong gamitin. Make sure na naintindihan nyo yung concept. And syempre, kung saan kayo komportable at mas nadadalian, yun yung gamitin ninyo. And before I end this video, I would just like to say hi to Papa Da please. Hi, sir! Yun lang, galingan nyo palagi and God bless you! Bye!